The Iron Lady, dead and buried.
Hello and welcome to the IN2G SHOW. I'm Luke White.
And I'm Sunshine, and today we're going to be talking about Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. Now, her funeral was just a couple of days ago, but it's been all over the news for the past week about the death of she's not the longest running Prime Minister, but she was the first female Prime Minister, and she was elected 3 times to the post.
3 times?
3 times, so it was a massive thing. Now, people are kind of going for and against her. People were writing banners that were actually quite rude, swearing about saying she's finally dead.
No.
Some people are saying that she was the best Prime Minister. She brought Britain back because they were saying that Britain was ungovernable, and she kind of made it governable in her rule. But I don't know. How do you kind of feel about it?
I thought it was interesting to hear David Cameron's comment that she will go down in history as the greatest peacetime Prime Minister. I
think that was a very interesting comment by David Cameron.
Why is that?
Because peacetime, but we're in wartime now, right? Because of Afghanistan.
Okay.
So he hasn't taken himself out of the running
of being the best Prime Minister of all Prime Minister of all time.
Because if he'd have said she was the best Prime Minister had ever been, people would have said, well, you're practically saying that you're not going to do anything for the next three years.
So it was political.
It was a political statement, I think. But that's just my own thought.
Cool. Well, I mean, the outcry has been felt kind of everywhere. And on Twitter, one of my friends, he reckons that we will now be able to, we'll probably find a bunker full of milk.
The milk snatcher, she was called.
Apparently,
the milk snatcher.
There's a whole crates and crates of milk hiding somewhere that we're now gonna come across. But
I actually, sorry to interrupt you, but I saw something on Facebook, and this man was basically saying that, say what people will about Margaret Thatcher, when he was working during the time before she came in and when she just came in, he said you couldn't do 2 days of work together. He said that because the unions were constantly striking and they had this idea that everyone should have a job, lots of people weren't very good at their job, but the unions were just striking, and she kind of came in and she went against the unions and she brought London back to working, really. I mean, there were bin bags all over the place, there were dead bodies unburied, and she kind of brought it back and stole the milk from children's mouths.
Lucky thing that, there's not going to be dead bodies lying around now, otherwise she might not get
buried. She got a massive funeral. The Queen turned up to her funeral.
Really?
It was a massive deal. So should we forgive her? People are still blaming the state of London, the state of the UK, to her. They're saying that she was the dominant force in making Britain what it is, a privatised nation, and that we're still recovering because of the housing, things that she did with housing.
Wow. So, do you think we will ever have another female Prime Minister? Is her legacy strong enough to ensure we can have another woman in power? Or has she actually just killed it for women being in the #1 post in England?
Well, you know me, I'm very heavily on the women's side, but I think, personally, this is my own personal opinion, I think she might have killed it for a little bit. And I regret to say, I mean, she was a very strong woman, and just the fact that a woman could be Prime Minister of England does say a lot. But women, when they're put into positions of power, they're even more heavily watched than anywhere else. And the fact that she has so many cons against her and some pros, people are going to say it was because she was a woman. Women shouldn't be in power. And people do say silly stuff like that.
But have you found that sometimes when a woman is in power, she can sometimes over-egg the pudding? Like, in this effort to show that she can do it just as good as a man, have you not found that sometimes women can just be a bit too much?
What is that phrase that they call for when women penis envy? Have you heard that? They said that, women want to have a penis, that's why they kind of go on. They've got penis envy, that's why they're kind of so strong in the boardroom. I don't believe that personally. I think that some women are bad leaders, some men are bad leaders, and they taint it for the rest of us. That's my personal opinion.
Wasn't that why they made suits for women with trouser suits for women, so that they could feel more...
No, they made trouser suits because they're just more comfortable.
Oh.
When it gets cold in the winter, you don't want to be wearing a skirt for that breeze.
Okay. And lastly, in closing, you know, in in church circles, we have the same problem, you know, or the same discussion over women leadership. Many of you may have experienced that your churches don't seem to have many women in the top positions in the church. I mean, do you think they're right for that? Do you think there's biblical basis for that? What do you think?
Again, I don't think that they're right for that. I feel that the church is very behind in the way that we view women in comparison to so many other Western countries. But then that's my personal opinion. I've heard things said about it, but I think we're going to have to leave that one up to people to decide. But I think that women should have more senior positions within church.
What do you think? Please, please, please let us know. Get on to us at our IN2G Twitter thingamajig, at IN2G, or go on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave your comments. What do you think? Are women good leaders? Do they make good leaders? And should we have another female Prime Minister? Please let us know. I'm Luke White.
And I'm Sunshine, and we're encouraging you to live a better life.